All right, guys, you're welcome to the Views from the Stand. And today we've got Uyo, the US, Indiana, somewhere in Indiana, then the UK. And then we need to leave South Africa and their tears and their pains of Miss Universe and come to our favorite little stubborn brother, or our favorite stubborn little brother. I was in Ghana somewhere in what's the name of that place again? In March for the All African Games. Jesus Christ, I can't believe that I've forgotten the place anyway. But where Jerry Rollins stays, the place where Jerry Rollins stays, that's where I was.
Rich,
What's the name of that area now?
rich, rich.
No, there's another name that they call it too. Uh, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's move on, Chad. Well, long story short, I was in Ghana early this year. I had fun. It was that time where the internet cable was cut. I had fun in Ghana, but I will not forget what happened on the 29th of March, if I'm not mistaken, 2021, when Ghana came here and they used their juju and their evil and everything to qualify for us. Now, why it was painful was not because, I mean, I grew up loving Ghana. I mean, I'm a diehard fan of Aberia Yupeli, diehard fan of Yopreko, Tony Yeboah, and Mensa, Stephen Appiah, even Baby Jet, the rude one, as Amogian. I love him too. Michael Essien, great player. I don't think there's anybody out there in the world, an African player or any world person who does not love Michael Essien. Michael Essien is everybody's darling. Samuel Osai is Kufo. We saw him cry at the No Camp in 1999 and we fell in love with him because even though a lot of people love
Right.
Manchester United, but the pain of the man in that stadium that day got to all of us. But lately, we enjoy the pain of Ghana. Because Ghana have fallen so bad, they are not on the level of Nigeria anymore. They are on the level of cartoon characters like Madagascar, Central African Republic, Seychelles, all those small, small countries they cannot beat anymore. Well, it is official. Ghana is not going to be making it to the African Cup of Nations, but I got Kobe Bafo. And if you remember, Ghana used to have a player called Tony Bafo, bloody tough football player. Real, that was when men were playing football. I don't know if he is related to him, but I want to give him time to rant. Kobe, before I go to the other gentlemen on the show, and thanks to Habib for making this possible. Kobe, bear your mind with the situation of the Black Stars of Ghana. They're not even Black Stars anymore. They're just black. The black of Ghana.
Hmm. The pain I'm already going to listening to you. I mean, why is a
Sorry, but we
Nigerian
have to do it.
laughing at Ghana when it comes to football? I mean, I can concede to you on music, but not football.
Are you
That shows
really
how, I
are
mean,
you really
we
serious
are
right
falling.
now? Okay, let's talk. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about see, Kobe, if you don't show respect, now the beat why I go beat you today. So let's start with this. You have 4 African Cup of Nations title. We have 3. That seems to be like equal. The last one you see, since they gave birth to you, sitting here looking at me like an overfed baby, you have not celebrated Ghana winning the AFCON. Do you agree with me? Because the last time you won it was 1982 when the cup was still looking very different. Now let's get past that. Let's get past that. Let's come into the now. Okay. We have 5 under 17 FIFA under 17 World Cup. How many do you have again in Ghana? We have an Olympic gold medal. What do you have again? So you shouldn't tell me that Nigeria should not talk to Ghana when it comes to football. When it comes to football, we will talk to you anyhow we want to talk. Yes, you ride over us and qualify for the World Cup. That's all there is. We even qualify for this World Cup before you people. So, but let's talk about now. What happened to the entire Ghana team? First, the sons of Abedi Pele holding the team ransom. Their father gave very good account of himself. But since they came into the team, Ghana is just not there. And the only thing Ghana have to hang on in the last 10 years is that they qualify ahead of Nigeria for Qatar World Cup. That cannot be what you hold on for 10 years. What is really the problem with Ghana? Qualify for Nations Cup, it should be a birthright.
You see how you have to talk a lot just to cover up a lot. I'll let you have your
No.
moments because
Explain you're not qualifying for this Nations Cup.
well, You see, when you were introducing, the show, you were mentioning back in the day, the players, the quality. And I think we just have to call a spade a spade. The standards have dropped for me. The standards have really dropped. And I like the point you spoke about the Ayu brothers. To be fair, I think we've been a bit hard on them because, in all honesty, Jordan was our best player during this qualifying round of phase where they end well. He tried to do something for us. He's the one who has been trying to keep us in the game. Even if you look at our World Cup campaign, he's the one who's been pulling the goods. And that's someone we always get angry when he has been caught because we thought he was a daddy's boy and all that. Yeah, I think the whole point is that we just have to reset. So this can be a blessing in disguise, to be honest. The standards have dropped. The players must, reflect and know what it means to play for Ghana. Because it seems as if now all the players think probably they are doing the nation a favor when they come for call-ups. You have players refusing call-ups all the time and they come and they think it's their best right to play. And let's watch even our best players. Watch how they play at the club level when they come to Ghana. I'm very disappointed in Kudus. That's supposed to be our star man now. And I think even it's reflecting this season, he has not been like before. He's usually the person who keeps things going. But now, honestly speaking, I was so angry against Angola, how he was on the pitch for that long. Not tracking back, holding on to the ball, unnecessary things. Wasting the chances. And now he's sort of also becoming a bit emotional, fighting with supporters on, social media and all that. But these are the same people that were supporting you and show you love. I think we just have to reset. There's no quality in the team now. The standards have dropped.
Okay, so
the likes of Michael Asia, Steven Appiah, and all that. Look, there was passion.
Yeah.
Bro, you are Nigerian, I'm a Ghanaian. The patriotism, the love for country, just to do something for your country, that should be the starting point. That it's a privilege to rather even represent your country in any capacity. We should understand that first. Because I think once they understand that, it will reflect. Not when they think maybe they are doing us a favor. Then we might as well just sit down because, it saves us a whole lot. It saves the country money because, honestly speaking, qualifying for the AFCON is one thing. Where we even going to do what? Because we're talking about, yes, we've known, but the consistency, it was a wrap. At the very least, Ghana was going to be in the semi-final or quarter-final, at the very least. But for the past previous campaigns, even group stage, round of 16, even struggling just to beat countries we are supposed to beat, even if we're handicapped. So, not qualifying is actually a good thing because I don't even think if we qualified, would have even got past the group stage. So, yeah, we just have to reset.
Well, let's get past the mockery. Let me come to you, China. Austin Eguavoen is still not the substantive coach of the national team. We've heard the NFF president say that they are talking to MTN, talking to Dangote Group, talking to everybody, Boa Group and the rest, to see if they can get a foreign coach. Having said that, today's game against Rwanda needs it, but we don't. It's a friendly for us. We played against Benin Republic, already qualified. And somewhere along the line, I was impressed with the performance of the team. China, you're close to the team. You're in Uyo right now. Can this be a layup to the World Cup qualification? Because having qualified for the AFCON in Morocco next year, there is still the big, issue that Ghana would banter us for if we don't qualify for the next World Cup. Do we have a team that can qualify for the World Cup, knowing that we are second to last in the group, 3 points out of a possible 12? Rwanda is on top of that group, a group that have Rwanda, Nigeria, Benin Republic, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Lesotho. We are second to last. China, please, what do you have to say about our team, the Super Eagles?
Listen, Matthew, you asked, do we have a team that can qualify for the World Cup? Yes, we have a team that can qualify for the World Cup, even though we are second to last on the team.
Would we qualify?
But the most important question is not even would we qualify. Do we want to qualify? I don't think we want to qualify for the World Cup. We don't. Because the likes of Ibrahim Guzo, the NFF president, and all of them, they keep looking for a foreign coach that they cannot afford. You're looking for what you know you cannot afford. Right. You're begging people for money to help you hire a foreign coach you can't afford. Now, they're not going to get us a grade A coach, or a grade B coach, or a grade F coach. They're going to get us a grade Y coach that has been rejected in Europe.
China, you just killed
It's going to come here. Now, listen. You bring in Eguavoen. Eguavoen has steadied the ship. We may not like him, but 4 games,
I like him.
3 wins, and 1 draw. I say we may not like him.
Okay.
Now he has steadied the ship. And we know that Nigeria, we don't know how to appoint coaches. We are going to drag until the week to that game. Why not allow the stability of the team to last? What's the worst that can happen? We'll go to the World Cup. It's not the end of the world now. But now, because Eguavoen knows that after this game, he can't even plan for the next game. He can't. Because he's not sure he'll be the coach of the team. But like I said, it's Nigeria. We'll win this match today, or draw or lose. We are the AFCON anyway. Then from tomorrow morning, the Hawks are going to come, dropping names. Miroslav Bratislava from Slovenia, Kribasha Kribudu from
We
India.
always have that. We always have that.
Yes. They'll be dropping names. And eventually, we might get a coach 2 weeks to the game or 10 days to the game. Eguavoen will be called again to say interim capacity. Why waste our time? But you're going to go for the foreign coach. Trust me on that. A grade Y coach. We will.
Habib, Mauricio Pochettino, the US national team, he's got a carte blanche to prepare, but you cannot manufacture quality players out of thin air. You might have the fund of Elon Musk. You might have Donald Trump as your next president. But does the US have a team that can at least venture to where the Artidors and Clint Dempsey, what they performed probably in 2010 and the previous World Cup? Can they drag the US men national team all the way and keep the energy up the way to the maybe quarterfinals or semifinals of the next World Cup?
Hell no. Hell no. Hell to the no. I don't think that's possible. I don't think they even have the quality of that to even perform at that highest level. First of all, I think the US national team is starved of quality. I think you can mention like 10 players or even 5 players on one hand that are very good. Probably Christian Pulisic, and you have
Balogun.
Yeah, but I don't think the quality is good enough. We even saw that in display in Copa America. They were not even good enough to even do very well. So I think they need to like lower their expectation, especially coming for this 2026 World Cup. If the US national team can play in the round of 16, it's going to be a fantastic achievement for them. But I don't see them progressing beyond that. But I think one thing they would like to see from Mauricio Pochettino would probably be like a style of play or a resemblance of like an identity, because under the last coach, they had nothing like that. I think that would be the progress for them. But to expect them to like perform well because they are the home team, I think that's just stretching the expectations so far.
Habib, thank you very much for that. Let me go to Bobby. Bobby, Lee Casley or Lee Calai, whatever the name is, Lee Casley, won his last game 5-0, and reminds me of Ruud van Nistelrooy. Is it that this tag of interim have a way of making coaches perform miracles? Because you look at Ruud van Nistelrooy, he's boosted his CV. I'm not sure he will stay in the labor market for long. Lee also has boosted his CV. He won the under-20s World Cup, Euro under-20 for England, if I'm not mistaken. But when you look at where he is right now and what he's been able to do, you kind of like tell yourself, this is a big bonus. This is a big plus for him. What next? And to add that, is Thomas Tuchel walking into a trap? Because now the standard again has been risen up. But if you look at the players, the quality of the England players, they are turning a corner downward. The players again are going, it's a rebuild. Obviously, he might not be able to get to the Southgate level of World Cup semifinals and the next World Cup. He might not be able to get to another Euros finals. What is the trap? Is Thomas Tuchel walking into a booby trap as it is right now with the England national team?
Starting with Casley. I won't say Casley really did any miracles. It's basically that.
But the players are singing songs of praise. All I said, oh, it's good to play for England again. They're attacking again. Everything is good. They're scoring again. And the players are singing praises and throwing jibe at Southgate.
Is that not the usual, what they call it, the usual chorus? It's the usual chorus. Watch England camps. Watch when England has an interim manager, a new manager, or a new person. It's the same thing they say. It's a new lease of life. He gives us confidence. He gives us the room to operate. Look at the players that score, the goal scorers. Most of them are first-time goal scorers. It's basically like players trying to prove a point. This is the last game before the Tuchel era. Everybody are trying to prove a point. A lot of players dropped out. So basically, if you are a player called in to replace those players who opted out, you have to try to stake a claim. You have to want to prove a point. So that's basically what happened. Lee Castley, yes, we know his philosophy, the way he plays. Yes, it's attractive, but we know that Lee Castley is not necessarily, he doesn't have that persona, that man management skill. But yes, he has put himself in the window. So definitely I see him maybe getting some of the small clubs, maybe
like even Irish national team.
Maybe the Irish national team, though I don't think he has that much experience to handle a strong elite team. Then coming to Tuchel, I won't say Tuchel is walking into a trap, because I even think this is the best chance of England when getting any silverware since 1966.
Are you serious?
I think it would be. Yes, I think it would be Tuchel. I think Tuchel is the kind of manager England has needed for some time. He's a cup manager.
But
so definitely
what car do you drive?
What car do I drive?
Yeah.
I don't drive a car.
What do you have that you will bet against my rickety Undercity? I know I want to put a bet. I want to put a bet to you that England senior men's national team will not win any trophy in the next 10 years. But on Tuchel is not going to win anything.
They will.
What can you bet against my car?
What can I bet against my car? Maybe I'll put an Omega.
What's Omega again? Is that
not
Omega? Yeah.
I'll put an Omega wristwatch.
Against his car.
My car is really cheap. Oh, you don't see me finish. Oh, you don't see me finish. Well, the Omega wristwatch is more expensive than my car. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. If it's a brand new one, it's more expensive than my car. So I take it. Omega wristwatch to my car. What people now see the way my car bad, I'm going to go buy a G-Wagon. There's not two ways about it. I must make this money and buy a G-Wagon. Having said that, let me come back to you now. Super Eagles. We keep talking about, Super Eagles, we have players, but we don't have a team. What do we need to have a team, in your opinion? What do we need to not say, okay, yes, the elements are not coming together. The forces are aligning.
In the team, right?
Yeah, Super Eagles.
If we talk about personnel in the team, the major problem of that team, the number one problem of that team is mentality. That's the major problem of that team. It's not even, people say the midfield. Yes, we are lacking in midfield. We're lacking creativity. But the number one problem of that team for years is mentality. If you check the mentality, those players, they are mentally weak. They are not strong. The way they carry themselves, all these things come into question. Self-discipline. These players, Super Eagles, I relate Super Eagles players with United players. They lack mentality. They don't have it. Look at the core team of the 94 squad. It's not the talent, it's not the skill, it's the mentality. That was the core thing of that team. That was the driving force. It's mentality. That's the main thing that this team lacks. If they get that mentality, I'm telling you, this team will change. And that is just the first thing before we can even talk about the midfield and talk about the tactical acumen of the team. What is the tactical bench like? Because for that one, we've lacked that for a long time too. When you put those things together, this team will be able to win things.
What things?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said which things?
What things?
What things we're talking about?
The problem with the Super Eagles and Nigeria is that, when I was in secondary school, my economics teacher, his most famous statement was, the worst deceit is self-deceit. We think we are superpower in football. We are nothing.
Oh, God bless you. God bless you.
We are nothing. What do we have as a team? We still have world-class players. Who are they? Who are the world-class players?
Even if we don't have
is it a central defense?
I feel like even if we don't have world-class players, there are teams you should beat, regardless of.
No, and the point, and that's, hold on, and get my point. When I know I'm ordinary, right? I don't act like I'm a giant. So we carry ourselves like we should win every AFCON, we should win every World Cup, we should do that. Who are we really? We are nothing. So we must come down to that level we are. I'm going to play football like what we are. We have a team of average players. Okay, I agree. Look, man, he plays, yes. But look at our team. We have to really play their football. How good are they really? Apart from raising their shoulders up like they're superstar players. So we must.
Is this coming from a place of anger or something? Because are you sure the Super Eagles is an average team?
Of course.
Yes, if Super Eagles,
they are an average team.
Kobe, the Super Eagles is a very average team. The Super Eagles, is a like bunch of real average players.
Okay, let's take it. We say, Matthew, we say we have world-class players. Let's start from the goalkeeper to the top striker. What are the clubs they play for that make them world-class?
There's no world-class player.
If you're world-class, you play for like Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. If you're a world-class player,
how many players get to play for those clubs?
You can be a world-class player and play for Tottenham.
That are playing for those clubs, they are not wood. Now, let's put it this way. Kobe, let me explain it to you. Currently, our world-class striker plays in Turkey. Turkey is not in the top 10 best league in Europe. But because we want to feel we want to win the banter, the social media World Cup, we are not delusionally deceiving ourselves that when you score goals in Turkey, you are not a world-class player. Before now, Henry, hold on.
He's scoring goals in Europe. I mean, he's in Turkey because of a different situation.
It doesn't bother me. No, it doesn't bother me. That is where he plays right now. Are you telling me that if the top striker of England is playing in Turkey, he will be invited to play for the national team? The answer is no. If the top striker of France is playing for Galatasaray, you think he will be invited to go play for the national team? The answer is no. The top striker of Italy is playing, but it is only when you play for Nigeria, and this is where we started.
Italy no get striker.
We don't even as a no-get striker. So the person playing as a top striker for Italy does not play in Galatasaray, and then
we bantered Pesero for negative football. Pesero understood his team. He understood his team and he said, look, let's go there and just sit back, play off the counter, and we are good. He got to the AFCON final. He didn't really show up that had a world-class team. But everybody wants to play. Listen. I don't deceive myself. I take what I get. Because we are really an average team.
So what should be the minimum expectation from the Super Eagles as fans? Like, what should we expect from them? Like, a Super Eagles team, regardless of whether they have world-star player or not, what are the things we expect from them? Who are the teams they are supposed to beat, and what's the minimum requirement for them?
See, listen, in a group like our group at the World Cup qualifiers, we should win every match home and away for a good team. We are not.
No,
we are losing to
Sean, I don't want to use the word if we're a good team. If we're an average, decent team, we should beat everybody. We drew with Lesotho, Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe.
That use $1 billion to buy bread and egg.
So, and we need to start this mentality of every time we're going for a tournament, NFL will now set a target to win the AFCON, to qualify for the semi-final of the World Cup. No. You don't see Switzerland going to the Euros and say they're going to win the Euros. You won't hear them say that. You will not hear, even Belgium will never say they're going to win the Euros. You won't hear them say that. But
so if Nigeria cannot say they are going to win the AFCON,
Nigeria is not on the same level as them.
Expect to win the AFCON?
Nigeria is not on the same level as Switzerland and Belgium when it comes to in relation to the Euros. None of them have won it before. Nigeria is a favorite at every AFCON. So that is why AFCON, when you're checking the parameters, you're weighing Nigeria against Switzerland, Nigeria against Belgium.
You see this thing you just said now, Bobby. China, let me say something. Bobby, you see this thing you just said now, is where the definition of delusion comes in. This is what Ghana was doing from 1982. Every AFCON they go to, they tell you Ghana is supposed to win it. Ghana is supposed to win it. And we also, to be very fair to Ghana, let's leave banter. To be fair to Ghana, between 1984 in Cote d'Ivoire till the last 10 years, Ghana actually have players that should win it. A team that has Apia, Samuel Osai Kufo, all of those players that they have, the Ghana that we banter, they've been to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. Nigeria does not know what it means to play in the quarterfinals of the World Cup. But they systematically make that their target. We should go to the tournament and win it. When they hosted in 2008, they were hosting to win. And you kind of like ask yourself, having good players is one thing. Having a good team is another thing. And when I look at Ghana, as much as we banter them, we and Ghana, we are similar in a lot of ways. And the worst one with us is the fact that progress, every success of Nigerian football always brings us downfall. So let's put it this way. We won the Nations Cup in 1980 and we struggled for 14 years before we won another one. Then we won it in 1994. It took us another 9 years in 2013 before we won another one. Excuse was that we didn't go to 96 because of Mandela. We didn't do 98 because of the ban. Yes, but then we hosted in 2000. We didn't win it in the finals. We make all the excuse we want to make. And after that, we were just busy entertaining people with Okocha, Kanu, and the rest of them, but we're not winning. But the quality of the team was going down. Before, Look at some of the results. Nigeria, Ethiopia, 1993, August, 6-0. Nigeria, Burkina Faso, 1993.
6-0.
Yes, Ethiopia 6-0 now. The Sondolise is the big game. 7-1 against Burkina
6-0.
Faso. Nigeria,
Yes.
Algeria, 1993, Arsenal Coach's first game in July, 4-1. Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire in Lagos, 4-1. These were the results we were used to. And listen, these teams were higher pedigree. Now we play against Ethiopia, Burkina Faso, Equatorial Guinea, or Guinea-Bissau. They come here, they draw.
We actually struggle.
We have to do fasting and prayer. We are in the cheapest World Cup qualifying group, and we are second to last behind Rwanda, South Africa, Benin Republic.
Like Bobby said, the difference may not really be the kind of clubs they play in, it's mentality. That team from 1991 to 94, they came out looking like, we want this thing. Isn't this boys we have here? I don't understand why they come to the camp. I have no idea why they're coming to play these games. Because if you want to play for your national team, play for your national team.
I want to throw this question.
I'm done for
enjoy
today.
the sweet. I think it's to enjoy the sweet free girls that is available here.
Let's say
I didn't say
a
that.
world-class coach.
Massage to come and have a Nigerian massage.
Wait, hold on. Let me hear him.
Let's say we get a world-class coach. Let's say a grade A coach, like China would say. Would you guys' expectation change? Or
we cannot afford a world-class coach.
No, I'm just saying.
We can't afford it now. We're too old. We're too old to be
living in fool's paradise.
To be living in fool's paradise or to be creating fantasy. We're not creating fantasy. We're too old. That's what teenagers do. I understand that you're saying it. But let me go to Kobe. We're close to rounding up now. Kobe, I know you are angry. I know the Ghana team is not good. You talk about resets. We've been hearing resets since forever. What can be done? Ghana is still the most funded national team in Africa. As a matter of fact, in the whole of West Africa, Ghana spend more money for their national team than any other country. What really can be done? Because I hear some people on Twitter space, let them use only home-based players. But I ask, Ghana clubs on the continent are not even winning anything. The days where we used to be afraid of Ashanti Kotoko, what's the other one? Hearts of Oaks. Those days are gone. Today, Remo Stars will be praying to get a Ghana team as their opposition. Before, if they tell you you're playing against teams like Hearts of Oak or Ashanti Kotoko, forget about it. You'll be beaten for 4. But these days, so when they say bring the home-based player to the Ghana national team, like we also say in Nigeria, what do they really mean? Do you have a league that can support your national team right now?
Oh, I don't think we have a league that can support our national team. I'm trying to also pick my words, knowing this will be posted. I think the only reason why we still probably advocate for a local, a player playing in our local leagues to play for the Black Stars is because of hunger. Because when you go on a national team, it's also a platform for you to promote yourself. Probably clubs are watching, scouts are watching. So we just suppose we're like, is a local person. He may not be doing much here, may not be making much. So he will kill himself just to promote himself and enter the big league. So on that, they are going to give their all. Then a foreign-based player, who is thinking about his next league match, doesn't want to get injured, is just coming for coming sake. When he feels like, they won't come. They will have an entourage going to beg them. And sometimes I even think this foreign-based thing is a myth. You made a point about a top striker. Even I think he's one of the top 5 best strikers in the world, and he's at Galatasaray temporarily. He's playing in those clubs. But sometimes you watch the kind of clubs they are playing. It's not a quality club, with all due respect.
True.
The fact that you play, overseas doesn't mean you are playing something. And secondly, are they even playing in those teams? You see bench warmers and they come here and they act as if they are the best in their position in the world. That's all. And the ones who actually play will not give their all because they are thinking they'll come here, they'll get injured and all that. But go back to the days. Essien was at Chelsea. We had even appear outside Asamoah Gyan, Montari playing Inter Milan, AC Milan, all those top clubs, Koja Samuel and all that. It's even just a joy watching them. But they knew what they had to take, like their passion. They gave their all for their country. And I think the call-up was on merit. I don't think Ghana is on merit.
Absolutely.
I'll be like,
Was on
people are
merit.
thinking as birthright. I have to play just because I play maybe for Arsenal. I have to play just because I'm outside.
It's a
It
domestic
has to be
coach.
on merit. Let the performance, merit your position. We should stop begging players.
Do you
should be able
do you
to
think
drop.
that Ghana have a coaching problem?
So sometimes, to be honest, right, I advocate for local coaches, but for Ghana, that situation, you give the local coach a chance and it's worse, and just why don't I just pay the foreign coach at least? Because with this coach, I think we do have a coaching problem, because do we even have a coach? With all due respect to Otoado, he's a part-time worker. He's focused on his job at Dortmund, comes in, and I don't even understand how we give him the job. Because he drew, away to Nigeria. That's just, the best thing on the CV. We qualified the World Cup on an away goal. And to be honest, you should have beaten us when we came there. Osimhen was wasteful on that day. I think the Nigerian team was wasteful. And we just managed to pull through. So he took us to the World Cup by drawing an away goal, not achieving the conference. Went to the World Cup, very horrible performance. Then goes back to Dortmund. I don't know whether it's an assistant coach, he's a training kit manager, he's a scout or something. We brainstorm and we, mess with some people that we bring him back. And what is his philosophy? Defensive, attacking, feedback, I don't know. Because I watched the Angola game and I was crying. The midfield was like, Angola was having a training session. I was like, when does it happen that Angola is playing Ghana like this and you see players doing some unnecessary skills because it's too easy? I was angry that day. I'm very, very angry that day. So we just have to clear everything. I think our football administration too is very, 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 very bad. And I think I blame ourselves too, because Question Antechi, regardless of what they say, whether they coach corruption or something, I think he was good because our most successful period was under him. He goes to FIFA's, highest board, governing board or something. If we were minded, you have your own person there.
Bobby,
It would even actually,
Thunder will fire
it
you.
would even actually, help us funding everything.
Our time
man.
is up. Our time is up. Don't worry, we'll get you on Friday. We'll give
Black,
you a
I'm
second
coming
time.
that because you know that's the black man. Because my brother will enjoy it, then we should all come down and we have some things. So we are doomed. We are doomed.
No problem.
We are doomed.